Welcome to another episode here on BIS Rugby of the history of the Rugby World Cup. Last time we looked at the inaugural tournament in 1987 hosted in New Zealand, but today we focus on the tournament in 1991. If you do go on to enjoy this one, make sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 300 subs before the start of the Rugby World Cup and it's free to do, so make sure to do it down below. Let's get into the video. The 1991 Rugby World Cup was the second edition of the Rugby World Cup and was jointly hosted by England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland and France at the time, the 5 European countries who participated in the 5 Six Nations Championship. Once again, South Africa was not represented due to international sanctions imposed upon the Springboks by the International Rugby Board due to the apartheid government policies. Following on from the success of the inaugural 1987 Rugby World Cup, the 1991 World Cup received increased attention and was seen as a major global sporting event. In Pool 1, there were 2 outstanding sides compared to the other 2. New Zealand topped the group with 6 points, getting 3 wins from 3 games, while England finished second, getting 2 wins from 3 games. Italy finished third by beating the United States, and the United States finished bottom with 0. In Pool 2 were 2 hosts for this Rugby World Cup in Scotland and Ireland, and these were the 2 teams to get out of the group. Scotland finishing first with 6 points, so 3 wins from 3, and the Irish finishing second with 2 wins from 3. Japan managing to get a win, and a big win over Minnows Zimbabwe, but it wasn't enough to get them out of the group. Of course, they will be hosting this year's tournament, so Scotland and Ireland were through to the quarter. Next up, we take a look at Pool 3, and this is where one of the biggest shocks of the tournament finished. Australia topped the group pretty expectedly, winning all 3 games, getting 6 points and 79 points for. But the shock is Western Samoa, who finished second after beating Wales, an incredible result down at the Cardiff Arms Park. This meant Wales were knocked out of their joint-hosted own World Cup and only managed 1 win over a poor Argentinian side. So Australia and Western Samoa went through to the quarterfinals. And then finally, but certainly not least, is Pool 4, which was a fantastic pool for France with very weak sides. France topped the group with 6 points, 3 wins from 3. Canada in second, maybe surprisingly, but with 2 wins there to get 4 points. Romania then beat Fiji to get 2 points with the 1 win. But France and Canada. The quarterfinals had some of the best matches to be seen at any Rugby World Cup. Unfortunately, the dream for Western Samoa came to an end at this point, as they went down to Pool B winners Scotland. They lost 28 points to 6 as Scotland pulled away in the second half. Up next were 2 host nations competing against each other, the French against the old enemy, England. What a game that this was, as the Packs dominated the match, but England came out on top, managing to win this one 19 points to 10 out in France, so a big win for them as they went on to the semi-final. The next saw one of the favourites against one of the surprise packages of the tournament as New Zealand faced the Canadians. But New Zealand came out pretty comfortable winners in the end, 29 points to 13, and they headed on to the semi-final. The final quarter-final was a nail-biting event as Australia played against Ireland. The game finished 19 points to 18 in the Aussies' favour. What a historic match this is, nail-biting stuff and a tense ending to the game. But Australia were through with their Southern Hemisphere counterparts to the semi-final. The semi-finals were what you'd call traditional rugby rivalries. The first one, Scotland against England. In the past few years we've seen some great matches and some high-scoring games, but this certainly wasn't one of them. But there was certainly no shortage of entertainment up in Murrayfield. But Scotland narrowly lost against England, 6 points to 9, no tries scored, only penalty kicks. But what a game this was, a nail-biting affair. The English were into the Rugby World Cup. But who would face England in the final? Would it be New Zealand or Australia? Well, it was the Aussies who came out on top, winning 16 points to 6 and played very, very well. They'd been in the informed team as Campisi got 6 tries in this tournament to be the joint top scorer. We had our finalists. It was going to be England against Australia. The final, the big match, was all set up for England to win it at home at Twickenham and bring the trophy home for the first time, but it wasn't to be, as the Australians won 12 points to 6 in this match. Australia's first Rugby World Cup and the second time on the bounce that the Southern Hemisphere side had won the trophy. It would be another 4 years of wait until the Northern Hemisphere side would get an opportunity to lift the trophy. Australia, Rugby World Cup champions of 1991. So there you have it, the history of the 1991 Rugby World Cup, and what a Rugby World Cup it was. Make sure to subscribe if you've enjoyed this one, leave a like on the video and comment your thoughts down below. I'll see you soon here on BIS Rugby. Peace.
Look, I want you.